In 15 months, we buried 3 parents, my father-in-law, my mother-in-law, and my dad. 3 parents, 3 funerals, 3 estates to figure out. And I learned 5 truths about aging parents that every adult child needs to know. Truths that will save you money, protect your parents, and prevent the chaos and regret I witnessed. If your parents are still alive, this video could be the most important 15 minutes you spend this year, because the mistakes I'm going to help you avoid, they're expensive, they're painful, and they're happening to families right now. Thanks for stopping by the Retirement Guide channel. I'm Daryl Rosen. Let's talk about the 5 truths that nobody tells you about aging parents. Truth number 1 is legal documents are not enough. Having legal documents is not the same as being prepared. Everyone says get a power of attorney, get a will, create a trust. And yes, you certainly need those documents, but here's what nobody tells you. Those documents are worthless if you don't know where anything is. When my father-in-law passed away, we had his power of attorney, and which was great, but we didn't know which bank accounts he had. We really didn't know where things like the U.S. savings bonds were hidden. We still don't. And the government wasn't much help, but I digress. We were in the dark about insurance policies, all the different investment accounts, what his passwords were. We spent months, literally months, piecing together his financial life while dealing with grief, funeral arrangements, and the stress that came along with it. Then we took care of Jill's mom, who unfortunately only lasted another 10 months, leaving a giant void and more puzzles to solve. Then my father died, which will make what I'm about to say much more important. Here's what you actually need, what I call the financial command center. You can call it whatever you want. It's one binder, one Google Doc, one place with everything. Every bank account with all the associated account numbers, every investment account with all the login instructions and credentials, every insurance policy with policy numbers and the agent contact information, every credit card statement, subscription services, social security information, Medicare information, tax returns for the last couple of years, the actual legal documents like the power of attorney, the will, trust, healthcare directives, and the such, and where the savings bonds are hidden. If you find them, can you please let us know? And here's the key. You got to update it annually. Every year, sit down with your parents and review it all together, because accounts change, passwords change, policies expire. The power of attorney gives you the legal authority. The financial command center gives you actual access, which you need. So do it now, not when there's a crisis, now. And before I leave this session, let me tell you the single most important thing I did regarding my debt. We put my name on his checking account. Take it to the bank. It was the best thing we did. No, really go there to the bank now. Truth number 2 is the scam epidemic. Your parents are being targeted by scammers right now, today, this exact minute. In 2023, seniors lost $3.4 billion to scams. That's billion with a B, and the scams are sophisticated. These aren't the Nigerian princes emailing you anymore. These are professionals who sound legitimate. They create urgency and they exploit your parents' trust. Let me tell you about 3 scams happening right now. The first is the grandparent scam. Your mom gets a call. Grandma, it's me. I'm in trouble. I got arrested. I need bail money. Please don't tell mom and dad. Please. I'm embarrassed. Can you wire $5,000? It's not your grandchild. It's a scammer using AI voice cloning from social media videos. I don't have any grandchildren yet, by the way, but if you see Josh and Lauren, please tell them to get started. Actually, don't. Number 2, the tech support scam. Your dad gets a pop-up. Your computer is infected. Call this number immediately. So he calls and they remote into his computer. They find problems. They charge him $500 to fix it. Now they have access to everything on his computer, his passwords, his banking instructions, everything. And number 3, the romance scam. Your widowed mother meets someone online. He's charming, attentive. After weeks of building trust, he has an emergency. Oh my God, medical bills, travel expenses. Can she help him? She sends $1,000, $20,000, $50,000 before the family even finds out. My dad, when he was battling dementia, he used to answer his phone all the time in front of me. Every time his phone would ring, I would panic. I know how to answer the phone, he'd say. And that was exactly my concern. Here's what I want you to do. Set up fraud alerts on their accounts. Talk to them about common scams, not in a condescending way, that's the important part, but as a real threat. Establish a family code word for emergencies. Monitor their accounts if they'll let you, and tell them if anyone creates any sort of urgency, pay now, act now, don't tell anyone. It's a scam. Hang up and call me. Our parents' generation trusts people. Scammers exploit that trust, so we have to protect them. Truth number 3 is that Medicare doesn't cover long-term care. I'll say this again for effect. Medicare does not cover long-term care. And this is the financial bomb that destroys many a retirement savings account. Most people think that Medicare covers nursing homes, but it doesn't. Medicare covers short-term skilled nursing, maximum of 100 days after a hospital stay, and only if you're actively recovering. So things like physical therapy, wound care, rehabilitation. But when your parent needs help bathing, dressing, eating, managing medications, we call these activities of daily living, or when they have dementia and need 24/7 supervision, Medicare pays zero. The average nursing home costs $108,000 per year. Memory care is even more, anywhere from $60K to $150K annually, depending on where you are. At $108,000 per year, a $300,000 retirement nest egg is gone in less than 3 years. So what pays for long-term care? Option 1 is you pay out of pocket until you're broke, then Medicaid kicks in, but only after you've spent down almost all your assets. Option 2, long-term health care insurance. But here's the catch, it's expensive, especially if you wait too long. And if you have pre-existing conditions, you might not qualify. Option 3 is hybrid life insurance with long-term care riders. You pay premiums, and if you need care, the policy pays benefits. If you don't need the care, your beneficiaries get a death benefit. This is what I have, and let me tell you, as a result, I sleep quite soundly at night for like 6 hours. My dad spent his final years in memory care, $10,000 per month, no Medicare coverage. We paid with his insurance policy. He was lucky enough to buy it, even if he didn't know what it was when he did, and his savings. Here's what you need to do. Have the conversation with your parents now about how they'll pay for long-term care if they need it. Run the numbers. Look at insurance options. Understand Medicaid spend-down rules in the state where you reside, because hoping they won't need care isn't a plan. It's a prayer, and prayers don't pay the nursing home bill. Truth number 4 is you should have the money talk now. Every month you avoid the money talk, the stakes get higher. Nobody wants to talk about money with their parents. It feels invasive. It feels disrespectful, like you're waiting for them to die. But here's the truth. If you don't have this conversation while they're healthy and sharp and cognizant, you'll have it during a crisis when they're confused, scared, and unable to make good decisions. You need to know how much money they have, where the money is, what their monthly expenses are. Do they have debt, and what kind of debt? What's their plan if one of them dies first? What's their plan if they need long-term care help or assistance of some sort? When my father-in-law died, we discovered he had been the financial manager. My mother-in-law, she didn't know all the account numbers. She didn't know all the passwords or even how much money they had. We had to reconstruct everything almost from scratch while she was grieving. So here's how to start the conversation. Mom, Dad, I love you, and I want to make sure I can help you if something happens. Can we sit down together and go through your financial setup? It's not because I'm worried about inheritance of any sort. It's because I want to protect you and make sure I know how to help you when you need me. And I want your money. No, I'm kidding about that last part. Make it about them, not about you getting access to their money. Frame it as protection, not control. And here's the key. Make it a conversation, not an interrogation. You're not demanding their statements. You're asking to understand their situation so you can be prepared to help them. You're not disrespecting them by having this conversation. You're honoring them. You're saying, I care enough to have the hard talk now so that we're not scrambling during a crisis. The families who avoid the conversation, they're the ones fighting in a hospital waiting room, arguing over decisions and discovering financial chaos when it's too late to fix it. Don't be that family. And truth number 5, you can't do this alone. You cannot be a full-time caregiver alone, and trying to do it will destroy you financially, physically, and emotionally. According to a 2023 Urban Institute study, the average family caregiver loses $250,000 to $350,000 in lifetime earnings and retirement income. $350,000. Why? Because they cut back work hours, they turn down promotions, they leave the workforce entirely to care for aging parents. Believe it or not, their Social Security benefits in the future may decrease because of less work history. Nice. And that doesn't count the physical toll, the stress, the exhaustion, the health problems that come from being on call 24/7. When my mother-in-law got sick, my wife and her sister tried to do it all. Doctor's appointments, medication management, daily check-ins. It was heartbreaking to watch. We had to make a hard decision. We couldn't do it all alone, so we brought in some help. Wonderful, wonderful people that really helped us. Here's what getting help actually looks like. Option one, hire professional caregivers. It's expensive. It could be $25 to $50 an hour, depending on your area, but it's cheaper than quitting your job, and it's more sustainable. Option two, adult daycare programs are helpful. Your parent gets social interaction, activities, and supervision during the day. You get to work and maintain your income. Option three, divide responsibilities among siblings. One person handles medical appointments, another handles the finances, another might do the weekly check-in, grocery shopping. Don't let one person carry the entire load. And option four is something called respite care. It's short-term care, a few days, a week, so the primary caregiver can rest, recharge, and not burn out. Here's the truth that nobody wants to hear, but it's the truth. You're not being selfish by asking for help. You're being realistic. If you burn out, who takes care of your parents then? If you destroy your health, your finances, your marriage, trying to do everything yourself, you're not helping anyone. You're not abandoning them by asking for help. You're being smart, you're being sustainable, you're making sure you can be there for the long haul, not just until you burn out. And I felt the need to say this to my wife, Jill, as often as I could. You are doing the best you can. So let me bring this home for you. I buried 3 parents in 15 months. In that grief, chaos, and stress, I learned 5 truths. 1, legal documents are not enough. You got to build a financial command center. 2, scammers are targeting your parents right now. Protect them. Number 3, Medicare does not cover long-term care. Plan for it. Number 4, have the money talk now before it's a crisis. And number 5, you can't do it alone. Get some help. And here's what I want you to do today. Start one conversation, just one. Call your parents, text them, visit them, and say, I want to make sure I can help you if you ever need me. Can we talk about your financial setup? That's it. One conversation. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be a start. Here's the truth I learned the hard way. You think you have more time than you do. Our 3 living parents had all progressed so quickly. One day they seem relatively fine, the next day not so much. And if your parents are alive, you have a gift. You have time, not unlimited time, but time nonetheless. Don't waste it avoiding hard conversations. Don't waste it assuming everything will work out. Don't waste it waiting for the right moment. The right moment is now. Do it now before it's too late. If this video helped you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more real-world financial planning advice. And if you need personalized help with your retirement plan, visit theretirementguide.com. If you enjoyed this video, you might like this one, and thanks for watching.